A man asked me for coffee today after work, and I politely told him no, and then brought myself to McAllister's, where I got this croissant, this grilled chicken sandwich, and an entire bowl of broccoli cheddar soup and a Dr. Pepper for under $25. Now, I'm not going to argue with you about how you like to date, just like I don't want you to argue with me about how I like to date. But coffee is never going to be an option for me. And just like I respect your choice to coffee, respect mine to not coffee.
Yeah, no, see, this is the issue, man. This is the issue that we always have with our women today. And people always wonder why we have these type of podcasts. People always wonder why we center this around the women that we have in our community today, because this is what we have in the dating market. Now, just to be honest here, not many men are going to try her. So a few men probably going to be like, yeah, nah, look how she's built. Like, I kind of don't even want to, I really don't want anything to do with this. Look how she's talking. Stuck up, snooty. You think you better than what men see you as. Once again, man, listen, it really only matters about what a man see you as. And if you are up here saying what you aren't going to accept and what you are going to accept, man, you have already lost a small percentage of men that even wanted you in the first place. Let's just be honest. And then she tries to pull well, you know what? You don't have to worry about my opinion, just like I'm not going to worry about yours. Then why are you putting it up here on the internet? Once again, these people know what they're doing. They come on here, they make these videos just so they can go ahead and get some shock value. So they can go ahead and try to get some clout going. But it's like, man, it's not going to work, really. It's not going to work. Now, this is good, and this is good for some content, but it's really not going to work, though, because all you're doing is just damaging your own reputation. Because when men already look at you, you're already lacking on the physical side when it comes down to the basely challenge, and it comes down to how you look. And then your mindset. And as I stated in the previous video with Kendra G and Stephen A. Smith, like, dude, you could be a 5, you can be a 4, but if your personality is great, it can shoot you over into an 8. But it's like, man, you were in the dumpster. You are in the dumpster with this, man. You are in the dumpster with where your sexual market value is. Let's just be honest. And she isn't the only sister. That's the funny thing about it. I'm really only seeing sisters complaining about this coffee date stuff. But you have 2 other sisters who complained about having coffee dates, and we did a reaction to them a while back.
Is I don't do coffee or drink dates. Now, I understand that some women like this or prefer this because it's a quick turnaround, 30 to 45 minutes. If you don't like him, you can get out of there. It works for some people. If you like it, I love it. This video is not for you. Keep scrolling. However, for me and my household, we're going to have higher standards. I'm talking to this guy, and I'm going to read it to you because we've been talking for a couple days, and he started talking about meeting up. So he said, we should get together over some pear and lychee cocktails soon. And I said, that's really sweet, but I prefer dinner. I like to get dressed up. Now, I always try to say it nicely because I don't want to be like, I don't accept drink dates. Like, you don't have to be mean. You don't have to be, you can be nice about it. But I always just say I prefer dinner because I like to get dressed up. And he said, I see. What type of places do you have in mind? So I sent him a list of places that I've been wanting to try, all sorts of different budgets. Okay. It ranges from medium to a little bit higher, all different locations around the city. So he can choose what works for him, timing and budget wise. So I sent the list of places. He says, these places sound really nice. I think it'll be fun to get to know each other over some nicer dining options. Here it comes though. But I wanted to let you know up front that if we were to meet at one of those places, I'm comfortable splitting the check. I usually will do drinks or something on the simpler end for the first meetup to see if there's a connection first. So my thing is, I don't like the coffee or drink date because they're trying to audition you.
I do not accept coffee dates from men, and I just want to talk about it. I do just want to say that my reasons are just that, my own, so don't get under my comment section upset or in your feelings. So why don't I accept coffee dates? Well, besides the fact that I'm really not much of a coffee drinker, I find that coffee dates are low effort, they are cheap, and they are the biggest waste of time, honestly. So when I go on dates, I truly do like to look my best because I do believe that first impressions matter. So I really do put a lot of effort into my look, and I find that putting effort into my appearance for $5 bean juice is a waste of time. So when you ask a man, why do you like to take women out for coffee dates, they will give you a bunch of reasons, and I'm just here to tell you that they will never tell you the true reason as to why they ask women out on coffee dates. They're going to lie to you. They are going to guilt trip you by asking if you need free food, if that's why you're asking for him to take you on a proper date. Do you need free food? Are you hungry? And it's really just because they want the woman to be able to prove that she is worth a
Once again, guys, did y'all notice that every chick says it's a low effort? Every chick say it's low effort. How is it low effort if you were to sit here and ask these women, would you want a man who just tells you to get ready and they just take you somewhere, they set up the dates? Most of your women will say yes. That quote unquote to them, that shows how he takes charge. He's taking lead. But then when he tells you he's going to a coffee date, somehow, somewhere you're too good for that. Your average women are too good for a coffee date. Your average women, man. Your average women, ladies. Your average women are too good for a coffee date. And the funny thing about it is she decided to go to McAllister's at the same time she could have just went on a date with the guy. So you could have saved your money because once again, it might be a coffee date, but let's just be honest here. They also serve food too. So you could have got some food. You could have got some food out of that. You could have got some coffee and food. And then you could have vetted the man. That's the whole point of the first date. But women are now trying to move the goalposts. You don't believe me? Look at how she doubles down on her statement, on her asinine statement.
Normally, I am a girl's girl who supports women's rights and wrongs, but I'm about to suspend that for about a minute and match pick me energy with pick me energy. How has coffee dates worked out for you, sis? Because see, I did a little tap and went to your profile, and the first thing I saw was that you were a mother to 4 beautiful children. And as I continued to scroll on your page, at no point did I also see you were a beautiful wife to a handsome husband. Biggie had 2 baddies fighting over him and eating his like groceries. And for some reason, men seem to think that I can't find a man that's willing to take me for coffee. And I notice anytime that I post anything about dating, especially on this app, the number 1 comment that I get is because I'm fat and ugly, that I should be willing to settle for whatever a man is willing to offer me, right? And I always find that interesting because it almost feels like they have this assumption that any man who's trying to date me has never seen me before. And what I noticed from that comment section is a lot of people like coffee dates or ice cream dates or whatever the case may be because it's low effort, low commitment, low risk. And for the men, it's cost effective, right? And a lot of people were trying to compare it to a job interview, right? And I think the part that they are skipping with the job interview is after you submit your resume and the application, if you are deemed worthy, what happens? You get the phone interview. After the phone interview, if the employer deems you worthy enough, then they will invest the resources to fly you out for an in-person job interview. And I feel like a lot of y'all are skipping that step. I feel like a lot of y'all will meet somebody on a dating app on a Wednesday, and by Thursday you are trying to go get coffee, which is why y'all want the low risk, low commitment, cost effective dates, because y'all are not taking the time to have the phone interview. I don't know about anybody else, but for me, my first time having a meaningful conversation with somebody is not going to be the first date.
And all she's trying to do is just complicate the whole situation. Now, for the interview, ma'am, if we're going to use your example and your hypothetical, then let's just be honest here. You're talking about a company because a company is flying you out for a job interview. That mean that job is a top of the line job. That job is a top of the line job. If it's flying you out and you're having to relocate, you got to be getting paid some money. That means it's going to be worth your while. Guys, she's trying to say she's a job interview. Ma'am, if you're a job, if you're a company or whatnot, you will be the Kmart of it all. Somebody's only going to be working with you locally. Somebody's only going to be working with you locally. Don't try to sit here and compare yourself to a Fortune 500 company. You're more like you're like a 1-star restaurant, man. Like, stop it. Stop it. And then you can really see her dislike and her distaste for men when she says that. And for men, it's cost effective because, hey, guess what? The men get to save money instead of sitting over here burning through $40, $50 because he wants to take out 3 women because he wants to vet them, just like how 3 men will take you out and you don't have to spend no money, but yet it's a vetting process. He's going to spend 40, then another 40, then another 40. In some cases, $50. Let's just say he went on 3 dates with 3 different women, right? That's already $150 right there down the drain. Come on, man. Like, let's just be honest here, man. Let's just be honest here. Going to a Starbucks, going to a coffee joint will be far better, because let's just be honest here as well. It's not going to be just a coffee date. We're going to stop at a coffee, and then we're going to stop at coffee, and then that's it. Like, no, you're probably going to stop at a coffee shop. It's going to be our main date. We talk there, and then we probably go out somewhere, go to the movies, whatever. If the date is really like that, let's go out to go get something to eat. I want to know a little bit more about you. But you got women like this who just needs that one date. They just need that one date for the validation and for their bellies to be full, and that's it. That's it. And once again, the man is out of money while this chick gets to walk around here with more money in her pocket because she get to say it. And let's just be honest here. Once again, you are complaining when you're complaining about a coffee date when you just settled for McAllister's, man. You settled for McAllister's, so you just decided to say, hey, well, listen, I'm gonna forego actually getting to know a guy. This guy could make tons of money. This guy could be literally the man for you, but you're choosing not to because he says, hey, well, listen, I want to take you to Starbucks. Like, what's the issue? What is the issue? I mean, here's another video where she is essentially insinuating that, hey, man, listen, a lot of your black men are headaches, and trying to push the narrative that she was being shitted on by black men when that wasn't the case. But once again, it is easy to push a false narrative to then show your hypocrisy, to show your hatred that you have for your black men.
Black women are going so hard for Nicolandria because Nicolandria is a real life example of what it looks like to go where you're celebrated. Alandria has shown us that her preference is black men. Alandria has shown us that she prefers black men. She gives her time, effort, attention to black men. She has spent most of her time chasing after a black man because of this concept of black love that she has. And throughout this entire process, she has gotten shitted on. And Alandria is beautiful. She has body, like all the things, right? And then when you add the layer of being dark skinned on top of it, we all know how colorism is working with all of this, right? Then you have somebody like Nick. He's not black. He's attractive. And perhaps they share similar morals. Perhaps they have similar values. I don't know. But he is really into her. The ways in which he moves and the ways in which he conducts himself and the ways in which he shows Alandria that he likes her both in word and in action is something that black women on these dating shows do not get very often. It is something that black women that watch these dating shows don't get to see very often. So you're seeing a black woman be cared for, being desired, being lusted after, whatever you want to call it. And it just so happens to be from somebody who's not black. So a lot of women are rooting for Alandria to go where she's celebrated instead of trying to stay somewhere where she is consistently getting shitted on. Go have that soft life you envision, sis. It's there right there for you.
Like, man, we see it all day, every day. We see our women say this stuff all the time. Oh, well, we don't have an issue with the brothers, but hey, she got to go somewhere where she's appreciated. She got to go somewhere, man, where men love her. When you got a bunch of black men that may love her, but she might be an issue. Once again, you see all of these black women trying to date outside the race, but they can never really stay within that relationship. But that's just me, though. That's just me. Y'all let me know down below. What do y'all guys think? Do me a huge favor, man. Leave me a like, leave me a comment, subscribe to the channel.